anything to do with Western big game.
Welcome to the Epic Outdoors Podcast, powered by Under Armour.
Hey everybody, Jason Carter, Adam Bronson, John Peterson, Devin and Josh, as well as Logan. How you doing, Logan?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
Yeah, right on. How's that truck doing?
Hey, it is all right. We like it so far.
All right, perfect. Anyway, hope y'all are doing good out there. We're kind of excited. We're seeing light at the end of the tunnel, Bronson. There's tag results coming out like crazy.
Well,
draws coming due.
Disappointment, despair.
What?
Blood red yesterday.
For me.
Blood
Okay.
red.
Some of us saw a little tinge of green.
I've been seeing it for months.
I saw a little tinsel.
Geez.
We need proof or it didn't happen.
Jason's got a little cheat grass on his screen, but
it's some pretty shizzy cheat grass. Well, whatever. All right, so what are we going to talk about today, guys? What do you guys want to talk about?
Silence.
Bronson?
I thought you had the outline.
No, I got a couple of notes.
Okay.
Let's talk about optics real quick. We are freaking loaded with optics. We've got draw results that have come out, especially in New Mexico, most notably Montana, and guys are starting to gear up a little bit, and we're ready for that.
Well, after a few years of being in business, we've kind of gotten in our groove, I guess, so to speak, in terms of knowing when our peak demand is, and we know that this is getting to that time of year from now through summer. So, yeah, we're stocked up well. That's basically what we want to tell everybody. We've anticipated this and ready to make some deals. So give us a call when you're ready to upgrade. Or if Uncle Joe sent you a check refund back for taxes, that time of year too.
Spend it.
Or if New Mexico put 6, 8, 10 grand back on your card and you think, hey, I got money to play with,
spend it.
And it's true. If you draw a tag, you have to get some form of glass or something, right? I mean, that's
the
I've been telling my
celebratory
wife that for a while.
purchase.
Like, I have to upgrade this portion of this, or I will not be able to be successful on this hunt.
And you got to
So
keep
if you
up.
need help talking your wife into that, have her call me. I'll talk to her. I'll explain why you need.
Have your wife call Josh.
I can explain to her why you need a new BTX in your life.
Well, let's let everybody know his cell phone real quick so they can reach out to him.
Hit him up on the DM.
Just slide in
What
there.
is what?
Josh, just
1-800
to your
Mr.
wife.
Optics.
What is your Instagram handle?
Do we have a beep, Logan, to beep that out?
Triple Brow Times Productions, LLC.
Yeah. I just remember when I drew an elk tag a billion years ago, which I did, but I told my wife the first thing I needed to do was a new gun, because this gun that I have that can completely kill a bull elk won't kill the particular kind of bull elk that I need to shoot on this hunt.
They can kill general season elk, but not a limited entry elk.
So how did you justify this most recent upgrade?
Which one?
That's the question. Which one?
It might have been a Fierce in the mix.
Well, there's also some things that they don't need to know about, too.
Well, he's also got children growing up,
That's
and
true.
they all need guns, and so sometimes they take Dad's gun, and now Dad needs a new gun.
That's true.
Yes.
So
This
there's
happens to Bronson.
sharing
all the
and
time.
caring is what that is.
Sharing and caring.
Josh, you're in dangerous water right now.
Sharing and caring.
I've had that gun for a while. It just got a new stock put on it.
Which one?
Yeah.
You mean the new Fierce stuff?
Yeah, I did. It was
Yeah, and it's got a new sling.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
Adam had a
notes.
spare
that's
stock,
that-
and I
had that scope from my other rifle that I put on this one because I liked it so much. So it's not a new gun. It's just had a couple upgrades to it. It shoots some bigger bullets apparently. So
The
I
bottom
get a few of
line,
those,
whatever your rationale, excuse, need, want,
or if you need new
Or otherwise.
justification.
too. Yeah,
we've got it.
I can help. I can
Think
help
of us.
I can help you lie to your wife.
Think of us. Anyway, and we're stacked. We are stacked.
I would add to that, don't procrastinate because we've heard of supplier issues.
Yeah.
I mean, we're stocked up right now, but in August,
Yeah.
you might not get what you want.
Yeah.
So
Well, and we stock heavy. We do. We've got a lot here. But, shoot, I remember last year some guy, it was a week before his deer hunt, he got a call from the Division of Wildlife and took a turnback tag. And all of a sudden he was like, I need a pair of 15s for me, my dad, and my brother. And all of a sudden there's 3 gone off the shelf, And so Stuff can go very fast.
Sometimes it takes a minute to get back, get stocked back up. So,
Anyway,
all right, I like it. That's awesome. I agree, Josh. I want you to talk a little bit more. Or Devin Bronson. Bronson's one of the most recent purchasers. Thermal rifle scopes.
Oh.
How cool are they?
They're cool. I decided I was going to use a gun that I don't use a whole lot for a predator gun, and I know some might say that's excessive.
You mean the 6.5?
Yeah.
For years, though.
No,
like normally
no,
a 22-250 or
no, I just mean having a dedicated predator gun. Like,
oh,
and I'm talking
dedicated.
wolves. Like,
I thought you were talking about caliber cartridge.
No, and for wolves, 6.5 is.
I know.
You gotta have one.
I know.
I mean, a 22-250,
but
you can reach
normally-
out at 400 yards and hit a wolf.
But normally when people say predator, it indicates coyotes. You know. So
well,
that's
yeah,
why.
I meant it for wolves in Idaho, which we've gone up over time, and they are legal, or night hunting coyotes. A fun gun. Fun gun rolls off the tongue.
Fun gun.
Well, it's that you've had that thing scopeless for how long now, right?
Oh,
no,
yeah.
There was a
I
scope.
ripped a scope off.
Oh,
of
but
it.
it was
It was
one
a fully functioning big game gun.
that hasn't been used for a while.
Yeah.
It wasn't really in your arsenal.
It was one of the ones my daughter used, and I hope she didn't listen to this because
Your gun's
gone.
gone.
Her gun. Yeah.
It looks a little different.
Anyway,
now.
it looks a little different. It's a little heavier, but I've got guns for her that are bigger and better than ever. And this gun, I just decided, let's just kind of make it, because it's kind of hard to pull a thermal off and put it back on your big game rifle and reset. I just
for one or two trips up to Idaho or whatever.
I know that sounds excessive, but I just wanted to get it set up, and that's what it is. And I could also lend it to my brother, or maybe one of y'all or something if you're going on something like that.
Kidding.
Huh?
Possibly. But
Well,
what I would like
it's
to
a
do is
state-of-the-art.
I would like to encourage you all to.
Well,
to
it's
do
a
that.
state-of-the-art pulsar scope, which we now deal in, and maybe tell us a few of the features. I looked through it, but we all looked through it, but I don't intimately familiar with it like you are.
I mounted it and I sighted it in. That's as much of an expert as I am at this point. I have not.
We range found with it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It's got an internal
rangefinder
rangefinder
in it.
It's got an internal rangefinder, which is kind of a must. Not as critical if you're hunting coyotes. You set a gun at 100 yards or dead on at 200. Especially a 6.5 or something, it's like an inch high at 100. Like you're going to kill coyotes. Yeah. But if you're hunting wolves at say 300, 400, 500 yards, if you can see that far and all that, you need a rangefinder built in. And sometimes you might need
what reticle to hold.
Yeah, you might need a spotter with you with thermal binos or something, because otherwise you're panning with your rifle scope all the time.
This is only if you're night hunting or whatever.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
It'd be good in the broad daylight too. It's not night vision.
In certain conditions, especially winter months, which is when we usually hunt. We usually hunt wolves or coyotes. We hunt coyotes in the early fall sometimes too. But
you
know
kill
what I mean.
a coyote whenever you see it.
Yeah, but when it's hot, that's not going to work as well because rocks and everything's glow in the summer.
Yeah.
But anyway, my first dabble in this, honestly, very first dabble in thermal, on all things thermal. So it's kind of cool.
It's pretty fun.
Got my suppressor on there. I've had one of those for a year or two, and I got that on there, and it's
it'll allow you to kill the whole pack, maybe. Huh?
Who knows? I hope to find out. I'm really excited for next winter. It's kind of too late for this winter, but next year I'm gonna.
Or maybe someday you'll end up having to go to Texas and.
Well, this is kind of one of those guns. Like this would be the fun gun.
Yeah.
The fun gun would be awesome in Texas.
Yeah.
The fun gun.
We had a guy
it'd be awesome.
yesterday. We sold a pair of the Merger binos, range-finding binoculars that they have that are thermal. We sold a pair of those to a guy that's
Just
up in
top
Idaho.
shelf stuff.
We sold a pair of those, and that's what he has. He lives kind of right on the end of town, I guess. Has a big, basically hillside that the deer and elk and stuff are wintering on. And he said every night wolves are coming down picking stuff off, and he's tired of it.
He wants to do something about it.
His brother had sent him
loaned him his gun for the winter,
but it wasn't a range-finding gun or anything like that. And he's like, yeah, you can kind of see and it works or whatever. But he's like, I need a rangefinder and I need binoculars, and so he was gonna set it up.
He's leveling the playing field.
Yeah, we sent him a pair of those range-finding binoculars.
How awesome is that? Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, keep that in mind, I guess, if you guys are anybody's interested in a fun gun.
Yeah. Yes, we've got.
I
like it.
We've got some rifle scopes. We've got binoculars, some handheld, binoculars, I guess, that we're carrying of pulsars.
Devin, why don't you talk to us a little bit about guns, gun sales, and a few things like that?
Rifles? Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been cranking on rifles.
Yeah.
We ordering a bunch. It's been good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's been a while since I sold a rifle, but it comes
You mean
back.
prior
You
to
mean
this
it
year?
depends.
Oh,
Yeah.
Several years, yes.
Back
Yes.
in it, back in the saddle.
Yeah, we've helped a lot of guys in there. I don't know, on average back in the day, any custom rifle you would order was always meant. If you got it 6 months, it was like, yippee. Could be a year and a half. We've been getting them 3 months probably on average, 2-3 months.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And a lot of
From
those were
Fierce.
stocking, and so there's no
Yeah.
wait at all. We just got them in stock.
Yeah,
so
we'll
if
have
we
a couple on the shelf, and then
Yeah.
any custom order, scope, combo, whatever you want.
Get a great deal, maybe the best deal right here, Epic Outdoors. So pretty awesome, kind of fun. That thermal scope is next level. When I look through it, it's like, geez, you know.
It's neat.
And I can justify about anything. I'm coughing for just a quick sec on that one. Mostly because Jana's editing the podcast.
You just wait. If I go out and shoot something with it,
Oh, done.
I guarantee we'll get a ding ding kill the next morning. So probably go
true.
make that happen.
Probably true. All right, well, let's move on. We want to talk about this Muelies Matter movement a little bit. We kind of have initiated that, and a lot of that was brought on, you guys, you know, as we talked about winter kill, droughts, extended droughts that we've been in some of the states, and then now we've got an excessive winter, which is good in parts, but really bad in northern Utah, you know, southern Wyoming, parts of Idaho, along the Wyoming border, northwest Colorado, country like that. And so anyway, we just thought, well, you know, and some of the states are somewhat, you know, dealing with budget constraints and things like that, and at times in our minds are potentially issuing still too many tags. Not necessarily saying we should shut hunting down altogether in those areas, but as an incentive to, you know, if you get a tag, not to shoot a dink or whatever, is to, you know, we want you to go hunt. We want you to hunt
Yeah.
aggressively and try to kill something.
Yeah, let's clarify that. There's been some people, I don't know, bark at us, I guess, and just say, hey, you just want to eliminate the competition out there in the hunting
No,
field by
that's
draw
pretty-
your tag and send them to us in the summer and don't go hunt. It's not what we're saying at all.
Well, that's a
We-
small thinking.
We want everybody to go hunt their guts out. That's what this is about. Go hunt hard, but maybe in the back of your mind, you know, as the hunt's progressing, if it's not the way you're liking it to go, if you don't need to just shoot a buck, say you shot a buck, maybe this gives somebody incentive to hold on to that tag and send it in to us. We're going to have a load of prizes. That's what this is for. We're not trying to, you know, impose our thought process or will on everybody else. Of course, there's all levels of hunters, with young hunters, old hunters, meat hunters. It doesn't matter. Everybody's fine. But if this is in the back of your mind and stops you maybe from shooting a buck here and there, that's all it's for. We're not trying to make anybody feel bad if you shoot something. But if you don't, send your tag in. It has to be a 2023 tag. Want to put that out there. We already got one in the mail the other day.
Yeah,
It was
And
from
it was
last
cool.
year.
It was cool.
And
It was awesome.
we're going to have to send it back. Probably didn't clarify that, but we haven't even started. The hunts aren't even here yet. So it will have to be a 2023 original tag, not a duplicate tag either. We've kind of got into some of that stuff. Got to be an original tag.
Yeah. 2023,
and,
you
you
send
could-
it in by December 1st,
Yeah.
and then we're going to have different categories of draws.
Yeah. We've decided, you know, there's, you know, of course, a lot of states are limited entry. You know that's how they issue all their tags. There's some states that have general season tags over the counter, you know, for residents in like Idaho, Wyoming, you know, Montana or places like that. But anyway, we're going to define that a little bit, might even fine tune it a little bit more.
We will.
If we want to go into it today,
I
we
think
can.
I think we
but
should
just give our initial thoughts maybe today,
Yeah.
and then we're going to have some categories. We're going to have some general season categories. We might even have like we bannered this around. Might even have a epic staff pick, like for somebody that turns in an unused tag that we think is like, oh,
the most amazing tag in Arizona
13B.
Straight. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing that out. Or some elite 44
And
third or something.
And the guy might be like, yeah, I passed 200 inches, but here you go.
No, well, that guy's an idiot.
Well, I mean,
I'm just saying. You're passing the
I might
200
be
incher
me.
because you might win, you know,
a trail camera.
cut and wrap
Just-
pork.
Hey,
I mean,
hey. So let's talk about some of that. So when we first started this, Bronson, remember we were just talking really localized, heavy winter kill areas, but then we had a lot of feedback. You know, you guys, I mean, you were dealing with Devin, you were dealing with it as guys were saying, what about Nevada? We've been in a long-term drought. And by the way, Area 6, 7, and Area 10 are hammered with snow. And maybe what about other parts of Colorado? We've got localized problems over here. And then
Southeast Idaho and other parts of Idaho.
Guys in Arizona are like, what about Arizona guys? You know, and we're like,
New
well,
Mexico.
Pretty amazing in Arizona this year. But they have been dealing with drought. They're coming on a long-term drought. And you know, not so bad to save a few lives down there. And so this is what we thought initially. We have adjusted. We've listened to it. We've heard it. And to preface all this, there's no cost to enter. If you
don't like it, just forget you ever heard what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
You're not having to pay to enter, and 100% of things that we're donating or anybody's donating, 100% will be drawn by people that send the tags in. There's no overhead.
There's no financial gain from Epic whatsoever. None. There's no entry other than just getting us your tag, the price of a postage stamp and an envelope. Okay, so get us your tag, and then we've included other states, and we'll just talk about those real quick. So for the limited draws, as far as, you know, if you drew a limited draw tag, it's a limited draw tag. It requires you to have points or not, whatever, and you drew it. It was limited in nature. Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, and Wyoming. If you drew a limited draw tag and you didn't harvest a buck, then send it in. And there's going to be a great, good chunk of prizes.
We'll call that a draw tag category. You know,
draw tag category.
Limited entry. Some generals, remember, like Utah and for non-residents in Wyoming or draw. Yeah. So they're going to be in that category.
And so in the general and the over-the-counter type tags would be Arizona, Idaho, and Wyoming. So if you ended up with an over-the-counter, general in nature, over-the-counter, you can just go get one. Arizona archery or Idaho has that, especially for residents, and in Wyoming for residents. And so if it's general in nature, that's a category, and there's going to be prizes associated with that. And then the bombs on moms, doe tag category.
Let's clarify that. We're talking Muleys Matter, of course.
Muleys. Yeah. No whiteys. We're not talking about, right?
Or antelope. No. I know they're struggling, but this is
I see what you're saying. Yeah, this is Mule Deer.
Not a Prongies Matter movement.
Not Spoons Matter. So anyway, that's what we're dealing with. So that's you've kind of heard it. The doe tags: Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Nevada, New Mexico, Utah, Wyoming. In large part, we're trying to, why are we doing this? And maybe it's to offset some of the effects of drought and heavy winter conditions, hoping to kill less, potentially foster a higher age class of game out there on the landscape, and just encourage people to think twice before smashing a 2x3, because, and we're okay with people harvesting bucks. If you want it, like, you should harvest it. But there's some guys that absolutely just don't. They've done a lot of that. Their freezers are full, just to kill one. Well, maybe you don't. Maybe you let that one live, right? Yeah. Kids, kill whatever you want. Like, we're good with that. And again, this is not to do anything other than just cause a little bit of awareness. Like, we can do something. If you think your state is given too many tags after this heavy winter, which some of them are, in our opinion,
some places
this is one thing we can do.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, we've seen severe tag cut recommendations already out of Wyoming, out of Colorado. They're being proposed. A lot of doe tags are being eliminated, which is probably in our minds overdue, but good to see finally. But yeah, just gives you a chance, like we've said, fun entry. Doesn't cost you a thing. Think it's stupid, forget about it and just go hunt. Everybody hunt your guts out. We want to see your pictures of great big bucks and awesome bucks or medium-sized bucks or whatever, but before you just crush something just to say, I killed a buck in Colorado and he's a, a buck that, you've shot 1 million up before in your life. Just think about that.
And it's fun to harvest stuff, right?
It is. But as the light's fading on the last night and you're frantically driving around and you see a little forky out there, a button buck maybe, trying to get his harem loaded up.
22-inch 3x4.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And you just say, like, this 30 pounds of high quality protein, best meat in the world of venison, or should I maybe send this tag in for a brand new rifle or a brand new bow?
And this
I'd
list of
probably
crap is
take
growing.
that rifle or bow or whatever else.
Or
We
even
got
a
some pretty
chance at that.
amazing, some hunts, whatever. We've got stuff coming in. Maybe you want to take that over those 30 pounds of glorious buck meat.
But
Oh,
you don't
I just
have
had
to-
a thought.
And you don't have to gut it in the
Gotta
freaking
gut.
dead of winter
No,
over there
you
on the
don't.
fourth or third
No.
season
I just
in
had a good
Colorado.
thought. Somebody, we should have some big boxes of jerky as prizes because some people I love to kill
That's
a buck
right
for
there.
jerky.
That's right there.
Yeah.
Jerky.
We may even maybe we
Bronson,
even use
that's
some of our
amazing.
cash
I like it.
donations that we get if people want to donate something like that or donate jerky. Send it. Send it.
Hey, there's a guy out there, Brandon Maharo.
I like it.
'Cause there's people that-
Maharo's Meats. He'd be all into this. He's
Yeah.
a hardcore hunter, super good guy. Maybe we'll reach out to him. He's a great guy. Maharo Meat. Look him up. They make some incredible jerky. by
We'll
the way.
replace the 6 pounds of jerky you would have got off that 2-point
Yeah.
with
beef.
12 pounds of high quality beef.
Some people choose a Forky, by the way.
Bunch of beef
The meat's
pemmican.
amazing. Huh? How about fawns?
Yeah.
Jeez, could you imagine eating a fawn? It'd be tasty.
Ooh.
Oh, my wife.
Lamb's
My
good.
wife would be all over it.
Huh?
My
Little
wife
fawn.
loves the little.
Jen wouldn't
little-
even cook it either.
She loves the babies.
Oh yeah, loves to
Is
eat
that a
them
thing
raw.
in Europe?
Oh
Jeez.
yeah,
Like veal and lamb? You mean?
yeah, absolutely. And she's shocked that here we don't eat anything that's, that's undercooked. And she's like, your government's just brainwashing you. If you freeze it before, it kills everything. and she gets filet mignon. We grind it up into hamburger, and she
What?
eats it raw. Yeah, and it's
Oh.
amazing if you can get past the thought of it. It's really good.
Like
So-
Dances with Wolves, like eating a liver, man. I don't know.
No, that's
warm one.
we haven't gone that far.
No.
But
Okay.
That's
Well,
that's like eating an oil filter.
all right. Well, let's okay. So we did talk about we must have a way to contact you on the tag. So write your phone number on the tag,
Or your
with a Sharpie or a
Yeah.
pen.
Yeah, and it's got to have your name and address. We got to know who it is. You can't blur all that out, cut it out. If you want to cut out your social, which I don't know how many tags have that, but date of birth, CID numbers, punch those out, cut them out, whatever. But
a lot of them just don't have a
got to
lot.
have your name and address on
Nothing
there.
to worry about, and we're not gonna go around posting all these personal information. It's not going to happen. So anyway, and then this is kind of an interesting. We reserve the right to verify fraudulent stuff that's going on. Who knows? With these kind of things, you never know. Again, there's not a dime in it as far as we're concerned, and
We're just saying if somebody's
this
trying to
is
take
just-
advantage of the system,
Yeah.
we reserve the right to look
people
into
will
it.
find a way, right? And we're going to look into everybody that's drawn, and we reserve the right. Go ahead, Josh. I think you wrote this. Right?
No, I did not.
You said land-based your on social media.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're not going to get out of this scot-free. Everybody's going to know who you are. Anybody that's cheating
You
the
try to
system,
cheat the system,
we're putting you out on the podcast. We're doing.
might make the wall of shame.
We're not screwing around with this. Just be honest.
Yeah.
Send in your tags.
This is a fun contest. Don't make it into, hey, I'm trying to get the best of somebody by
It's not
shooting
taxes.
a buck and sending a tag
the
in at the
IRS.
same time. So.
All right. So I just want to throw out, Bronson. We just want to throw out some of the prizes. It's pretty crazy.
And
There's going to be.
and this is growing by the
Oh,
week, absolutely.
it's
You know,
nuts.
we've had a
So-
great response. So.
And we've been a little bit quiet since we talked about this. It's not on purpose. We've just been grinding on magazine stuff. But anyway, there's cash.
I'm kind of
prizes.
interested to see this third one when you let him know what he's doing.
Hey,
Oh, yeah. John,
I must have missed that podcast. I'm
John.
donating $500.
yeah. I don't care. You don't have a choice.
I'm all over
Me
it.
and Adam voted,
I
and
just-
it's a 2 out of 3.
So do I get to choose what pot that goes into? I might
Yeah.
come up with something,
Yes.
We can let John
Really?
do that.
Yeah, like
No.
Like
Not
what?
a
I don't
unique
know
pot.
what it
It's
is.
one of those 3 pots.
What?
You know,
Like what?
No, I don't know.
There's
Ground
a general
flame
pot,
on?
a limited draw, general, or bombs on moms.
It might be like kids under 18
John,
or something. My 500s.
Jeez, we just
I don't
can't.
know. We'll
we
see.
can't have 14,000 categories.
pretty soon.
Well, you got 14,000 prizes, so
Well, there's not that many, but there's maybe 1,400. All right, so we.
So, John, you reserve the right to pick the bin you want. Your
maybe,
prize.
yeah. I
We'll
don't
give
know.
you that.
I just think it over.
Hey.
This is new to me. I didn't know I
Okay.
was donating. So
Just write the check. And you,
I don't know why it has to be difficult, John. We want your 5 Benjis. That's about it. So we got cash prizes. We got backpack logistics for a 5-day backpack meal kit.
yeah.
I mean, that's legit.
Yeah.
It's no joke. Dustin Whitwer, thanks for stepping up. We're going to also post all this on social media throughout the
Throughout
fall.
the summer and fall.
He already basically just ruined that, though.
What?
on the way. We kind of posted, "Hey, heads up, this is coming out," and
What did
he
he
just
do?
couldn't wait.
Did he?
Said, "Hey, we're donating this." So
He did already.
yeah, we had to make sure we hit him back. So
Well,
he basically,
and he's going to want to do the rentals.
You peeked at the presents under the tree.
He's going to want to do the
Spitter
the
rental?
spitter rentals, the llamas, but he knows nobody's going to want that prize.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, so maybe it's a good one to donate because you wouldn't have to. Nobody would take him up on that.
Does it come with one of those face shield masks things?
Like a wetsuit, just a rain jacket.
A slicker and a face shield.
Anyway, he's a good friend of ours. We can give him a little grief. It's
Just
awesome. Appreciate you, Dustin. Yeah, Fierce Rifle. That's
Epic
that's-
Outdoors.
That's
Full
from us.
donation.
We paid for this. Same with the Hoyt VTM 34 QU pattern. We'll also be reaching out to these companies as well. So I'm thinking there's going to be some more coming. An entire Vortex package that is from Vortex. We've got Colton Banks trigger finger replicas. I mean,
Can't
he's-
replicate the buck you shoot on the tag you're sending in, of course, but another buck.
like the
Yeah.
2x3
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but he will do a replica, or potentially we're talking a mini bronze. I mean, it's awesome. He's such a good advocate of hunters and just has a great business and good thing going. Mike Duplan, we've got a good chunk of his books as well as a painting coming, so that's going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's a lover of mule deer. He likes the big ones as well as sheep, obviously. But anyway, great guy. We've got a couple anonymous donors, new in box type optics. Pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Guys just want to throw it out there. Trail cams, obviously. Stealth cam and Epic. What's this, Josh?
That's a tattoo.
What is it?
we had one of our faithful followers up north, the tattoo artist, and she reached out and she says, "Hey, I'm going to donate a session, part of a session, something like that." So we were thinking, yeah, sweet mule deer tattoo.
Maybe the Epic logo?
Yeah, potentially. I don't know.
Better be deer oriented. Mule deer.
Probably should. Probably shouldn't be like a little honeybee or something on your lower back, Jason.
Come on. Good grief.
And hey, just
Disgusting.
before we say that, we should. This goes without saying, but in each pool, as we drive prizes, we're going to let the winners pick of the available prizes on the table
In that
so
category.
If you're
Yep.
someone that likes tattoos and wants them, that will appeal to you. You're not going to say, "Hey, Jason, you want a tattoo?" Not that you can apply, but
I would have to.
But in other words, all of these prizes, if you're not a bow hunter, you don't want the Hoyt bow. You might want the rifle, or you want a rangefinder, you want optics, you want choke camera. You're going to get a pick in order, so just
Or
don't
maybe you
freak
want
out.
a 5-day lion hunt with Meekum Outfitters.
Oh, who doesn't want that?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Meekum
I-
Outfitters here in southern Utah.
Hunter Meekum
They
and his
are
dad.
awesome.
I mean, just unbelievable stepping up to the plate like that. And these guys are reaching out to us. We haven't reached out to them.
Yeah. It's just people that hear the initial
Guys
You know,
that
idea.
love muleys and want to do their part more so than turning it in their tag, they want to donate something
Yeah.
to this.
Talk to
Awesome.
Mark Thompson up there, Thompson Long Range. He's doing a couple of 2-day shooting courses. You don't need to buy the gun. You can go there, learn from Mark, shoot. You're going
their
to shoot
gun,
long range,
learn a lot.
learn the system. I mean, super good guys, Mark and Scotty, just awesome. They're up there in the heart of some of that heavy
hard winter stuff.
Yeah. We got a traditional bow package, an entire bow package with Selway Archery, a guy that actually drew a tag here in Utah, and just an awesome guy. And he reached out. We've got from Gunworks a Revic BR4 rangefinder.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a lot going on. More coming. A lot of guys are still wrapping their head around what they want to do. So, anyway,
yeah, this is growing, and of course, the prizes are going to grow up until November 30th.
we're in April.
Yeah, that's right. So this is just a little. We're already up probably 20 G's or something like that. Seriously,
More than that
More
with
than
gun, archery,
So,
multiple archery package,
it's not going to
5-day
be
lion hunt.
We're not giving away hats and T-shirts.
I mean, yeah, and we may, huh? How
Well,
about that? We may.
Yeah,
Huh?
no,
Some epic,
no,
epic swag.
maybe a
With each and
$500
every-
type
not
package
individual,
or something.
but with
Yeah.
packages.
Yeah, maybe with the package, but these aren't going to be, a keychain. We're not doing stuff like that.
Bronson.
Well, I'm
I
just
want
saying
one.
these
I
are.
need a keychain.
Well, go buy one for $2.50. Okay, we're
Plus-
not giving
plus
those
tax.
away.
Yes.
Anyway,
All right. Anyway, pretty fun stuff. Just wanted to throw a few more things out there. You can go on to Instagram. It's Muleys _Matter, right?
Yeah, that'll be probably the best way. And we're going to highlight all these guys individually and kind of show you guys a little more in depth of what they're
You follow along
wanting to
all
do.
summer.
And
Yeah.
keep following along. We're going to keep posting on there pretty regular. Any updates or anything like that, we're going to post these official rules with the states. We kind of went over them fast, so we're going to post that as well, so you can go back and reference that to make sure that your doe tag comes from the correct state that it needs to in order to send it in or whatever.
Here's an angle for the businessmen out there.
John,
scared right
well, Bronson, I'm thankful there's
don't
a 2 to 3 vote on this.
I saw the light bulb just go off.
All right.
Right above your head. Your eyes lit up.
John loves competitions, and he loves intricate rules and details.
Okay. Here,
If you are a business, right, and you tend to love muleys and you think muleys matter,
And you want to donate.
We'll put your name out there. You can call it an advertising cost, donate to the cause, and you can write it off as a business expense.
And if you
for
don't have something,
advertising.
again, if you're an office supply company, what do you
John's now
not even
John's now advising in tax write-offs.
It's fresh on his mind.
John,
April
did you have
15th,
to pay some tax?
I had to pay some tax. I cried a little bit, but
I don't think there was just a little bit of tax.
yeah, there was a lot. But anyway, no, that's totally legit. We'll talk about you on the podcast. We'll promote your business for donating, and it's kind of like our nonprofit, but it's kind of like our loss organization. It just costs us our 4 loss.
Yeah.
But
501(2).
Yes. But I think it's fun.
We're going to have one of those post office things with envelopes zip around in. Different categories. John will be going through the youth ones.
Yeah.
John, this is funny that he's talking about the youth because he doesn't think anybody under 30 should have a sheep tag.
All of a sudden, he cares about kids.
It's just sheep.
This is deer. It's once
deer,
a lifetime
doe.
tag.
Yeah.
John thinks any special tag shouldn't be given to kids.
Sometimes I just say stuff to get a rise out of people, but
Jeez,
it's a little. It is hard for me to see a 12-year-old kill a sheep when you got an 80-year-old that's put in his whole life and is just going to
the
die.
The 80-year-old, keep
die
in
and
mind,
never
had
get a
the most
sheep.
amazing opportunities life ever gave.
That's true.
I mean, they had over-the-counter tags. They had
$4 tags a year.
years. They
Send
had
your hate
party
mail.
hunting. They had legal party hunting, and then illegal party hunting that nobody cared
That's
about.
the problem because they took part in that and they felt the need to feed the community.
And then now they're saying,
and
well,
now look what
geez,
they've done to
we
us.
don't get
So
special
I don't like
treatment.
old people either.
We're 80. I'm 80, and I don't get special treatment. You've had special treatment your whole life.
Exactly. But for the record, if my 12-year-old drew a sheep tag, heck yes, we're going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm
well,
you're
not
not
saying
turning
you
that
shouldn't,
back?
but just yeah.
Okay, so to John's point, though, if you're a business that wants to donate to this and you don't have something that your business makes that is maybe a natural fit for a hunting giveaway, shoot John an email or something like that.
Or call us 435-263.
Like I said, we'll put you in the jerky pile. We'll buy jerky with it. I'm serious.
Who knows? There's
Something.
all kinds, or we'll give away non-hunting hunting items.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who cares?
We've talked about giving away like a cut and wrap pig, cut and wrap.
I like that idea
That's
a
a good
lot.
idea.
Actually, I like
Something
that
like that.
idea.
Yeah.
Beef and pork, whatever, or maybe one of our deer, right?
I don't know if we could do that.
Oh, you didn't kill a deer? I got plenty. Here you go.
Just sign a donation. You sign a donation for them, it's all legal. So it doesn't matter.
One of the cool things that Maharo meats, can't say it, but they've got turkey jerky and all kinds of
He's getting a lot of love, and he
things.
doesn't even know it yet.
Yeah. But anyway, kind of cool. Maybe we'll come up with some stuff.
He's donating. He will. He's a good guy. All right. Well, anyway, so pretty fun stuff. Go ahead, Bronson.
No, that's all. We've said enough now.
It's awesome.
But if you got something, donate. Contact us.
We should come
We'll
up
pull
with
it
a
together.
logo and a shirt and hat. Muleys Matter. Huh?
Keychain. I mean, come on.
Bronson.
Where do we get in?
We're on it.
Maybe
We've been
keychain.
trying.
Maybe.
What do you guys think? Devin. Can't have enough T-shirts.
Yeah, T-shirts are good. Hats. I don't know about keychains.
I don't know.
He said he
minimizes
needed one.
everything.
This guy said he needed one.
I need
Jason's
shirts.
in the
hats.
market for a keychain.
All right. Well, anyway, pretty fun stuff. Devin, why don't you talk to us a little bit about, you deal with our outfitters heavily, and you're helping guys find outfitters. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about Montana, New Mexico results, all the things that are going on?
Yeah, it's been an exciting week, to say the least.
Been awesome.
I love it, yeah. I mean, I called so many people yesterday that drew tags. It's just fun. It's the favorite part.
Yeah. So one of the most unique draw tag experiences one of our members got, one of our license application guys ended up with a deer tag, an elk tag, and an antelope tag.
In New Mexico.
No joke. One of the best deer, one of the best elk, one of the best antelope.
He'll kill a booner antelope.
In the unguided regular draw.
Yeah.
Right? Who does that?
Called him so many
insane.
times, and finally got a hold of him. He's on his honeymoon.
And where's that?
He's like, "Hey, Devin, I'm on my honeymoon." Yeah.
Stop calling
That's
it your
Italy.
phone.
He's
You're
in
gonna
Italy.
wanna answer.
He's like, "What time is it there, dude? Sorry, but you drew 3 tags. Like, I have to tell you."
And I have to talk to you.
Yes,
These guys
this is
are going to book
important.
up.
Yeah.
These were not junk.
He's
tags.
like, "Well, my wife's taking
The
a nap here
best.
in a minute. I'll call them all here in a minute."
Like one of the best 2 elk tags in the state, one of the best 2 or 3 deer tags in the state, and a
One of
top elite antelope tag in the state.
In
Unbelievable.
the regular draw. Yeah. Who has those kind of
I've never drawn one
odds
in my
and
entire
luck?
life.
Anyway, pretty fun stuff. We've also dealt with a lot of Montana. We got a lot coming up too. Bronson,
Oh, May is
I think you've
jam-packed.
been really quiet in your office, and I don't know. I feel like you were replying 14 women and children.
One woman. and some children.
I had some sticky notes I was going to bring. Remember the sticky? I was going to bring some because I've heard some things. I remember
the what?
Out of me? Yeah, coming out of that office last.
I heard the word booner, goal, and antelope, something like that.
Oh, that's right. I
And-
am going to kill a booner antelope this year.
And you know what? You're going to draw. I'm
the
going to go
reason-
with you. It's going to happen.
How are you going to do
The
that?
reason that I'm a little bit bummed is I have enough points to do a bunch of damage in Wyoming, and it's just getting crushed. And it's unfortunate that it's not just crushed in certain areas. It's crushed in the best public land dominant trophy units in
No
the state.
question.
And so I'm probably going to sit it out. I don't want to be the
Well,
guinea pig. I've got double-digit plus
And
points.
you and I talked about it. Like
I don't
some of
wanna
those
do
herds, they're decimated by half. So
Yeah, we're
in
not-
one area they have 28,000 animals. They figure, and half of them are laying
we
down
are
on
not
the
talking
landscape.
about-
Dead.
as of
A week
April,
ago, or
April 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they're getting snow today and tomorrow. Oof. So I'm probably sitting it out. So it's that went from a guarantee. I should have done it last year like you, Archibald, but I didn't. I was too busy in other stuff. But
Now-
yeah, I want to kill. I'm kind of got a hankering for a big spooner,
Spoon.
whatever you call it.
Big spoons.
Whoever's called
Big old
them.
cutters.
I've never called them spoons, but Jason said that's
Well,
another name for them. Somebody's
A guy wrote a story and he called them spoon. I was like, yeah, they are kind of like that. Yeah, his buck
booner
did
spooner.
have
But I'm-
prongs shaped like spoons.
But yeah, I've got a bunch of points in, well, where else? I guess Nevada. I'm double digit there, but that doesn't mean a lot.
I just know I get to share that window right there.
I'd like to know what
And
was
I can
about to
hear.
go on your
I can hear. I can just hear every time the draw results. Like, one more will come out, and it's like, okay, this is it. All right.
Oh,
and
what did he say
then
about New Mexico? I'm feeling green. Or I don't know. What was it?
Yeah, something like that.
And it was
And
like,
then
I'm the only one that got a little tense.
last night when we stopped answering phones, I could just hear that keyboard over there. Just
Oh, it was.
there was
It
smoke
was.
coming through
There
my window.
was. And then this
Lots of
morning, it was
clicking,
really quiet. And I
scrolling.
look over there, and all I can
Three
see is the
states.
Utah. The
Three
Utah site
states.
was up.
3 states for a family of 5 or 6.
The nice thing is, once you get them in there, then it's an easy plug and play.
I tell you, that's
free.
been nice with Utah
And
doing that though.
And I already,
That's-
from last night to this morning, changed both my Nevada antelope and deer.
and it's nice to
I
do
love it.
I did. I've changed a lot.
Well,
too.
I invited
leave it how it is now. I like it.
because I'm
invited
afraid
some-
if something bad happens and I'm in the hospital and can't change,
Oh,
you know what I mean? And so I'm always like, hey, if I think it, I'm going to go in and change right now.
yeah.
Because
Because if
I
you
end up
slipped into a coma,
yes, and
wake
then I
up-
come out in July, I'm going to be like, what was I thinking?
This
So
is why we're trying to tell you. Just give us your logins.
yeah,
We'll take
No.
care of you.
we will do good
you
things.
guys,
There's some guys in this room.
Wyatt has them, and I don't even know it. He knows everything.
Have you
Probably
noticed that
does.
he never asked us what we apply for?
Why? Because you're going to return the question.
No, because he knows.
I don't know.
He's
He picks up on a lot. He's a smart guy.
snuck into the HR department, thumbed through some has birth dates. And
No. Anyway.
Got a new nickname for him, by the way. And I think he likes this.
Come on.
The dude.
Is this
What do you
from
mean?
breakfast the other morning?
Yeah, remember we're going to breakfast like 25 degrees the other morning?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
springtime, and Wyatt doesn't even have a jacket.
No, he has
He's
a
in short
light
sleeve.
short
Short
sleeve.
sleeve.
A light one.
We could see
We're
our
all
breath.
bundled up. We see our
Yeah.
breath. It's
Yeah.
cold. We go to breakfast. whites and a T-shirt like John Wayne. We go in, we sit down. What does he sit down under? The picture of John Wayne.
With a 30-30.
Yeah, so he's the Duke, man. Call him the Duke.
I love
He
it.
likes this one much better than the one we tried to give him that he really didn't have anything for. So he's the Duke.
I'm not even going there. Wyatt,
How could you?
I'm not even going there.
How could you argue against that nickname? How?
I don't know.
If you're a red-blooded American and you fight that one, you're not a red-blooded American. Come on. You can't. Kind of like El Capitan or something like that. I mean, geez.
All right. Well, anyway, we're right in the throes of things. If anybody out there needs any help and you're a member of Epic Outdoors, you're welcome to call us. We'll surely help you. We'll crank through some Nevada options for you. There's a few guys that are like, Jason, just give me something out of the box, out of the ordinary that you would consider doing yourself, but that you can't really print or you don't. It hasn't been proven. We usually try to print proven stuff that we can back up. Right.
Well, and there are outlier places that you can overachieve with either luck or a lot of work. That's hard to convey that all in print because somebody will just key in on some 350 bulls have come from this unit. Well, yeah, 1 or 2 a year,
Well, I had a guy today. He's like, we printed 330 to 350. He's like, well, tell me, like, how many am I gonna see? And it's those are hard things. Like, I don't know how you're going to hunt or what you're going to do.
How good a glass you got?
I don't know anything. I don't know. I mean, we've had guys, we went out to Nevada and helped, and they don't even hunt in the evenings or the next morning or not. You know what I mean? And so I don't know, but it's a good unit. It's a really good unit. And so some of that's just subjective. You just don't know. But what I'm so excited about is all the SKUs in Utah, what we've talked about, options. They're
pretty endless.
There's a lot of stuff that's going to get overlooked.
Yeah, and for residents here, it's a little bit difficult because most of those SKUs that got added were for elk, and I think most of us are applying for deer.
Well,
so
here
in
this
their
room.
office is what I mean.
Yeah.
So but I have family members. Yeah, my woman and children that I'm playing around with some of these elk options. They're really interesting to think about. There's going to be some that are overlooked, completely forgot about. Your job is to figure out which one that might be.
Well, and even for non-residents where they can apply for everything, there's things that are overlooked.
Totally different for them, but yeah, it's not as exciting for me as a resident because I'm putting in for deer and I'm putting in for the quality deer.
You had to choose some things for your daughter, same thing with me and in-laws and
outlaws and all that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun and it's going to be interesting. And then after, this is one of those times. A unique period in history when you're going to find that there's surprises.
And then next year it's going to be uncovered when the draw goes out, and then it's going to be overcompensated, and you're done forever.
Well, the results speak for themselves. Now there's precedent set. There's this one took 7 points.
Oh, that must be awesome. Pine Valley takes 7 general deer points. That must be incredible. No?
Well.
No.
Yeah, hey, how about let's just go there. Let's talk about the
first.
Let's talk about
real
that
quick
meeting
before we go to the general deer point. Did you? Speaking of SKUs, did anybody in your jurisdiction, stewardship,
women and children,
get applied for any December archery elk? Yes or no?
Yes.
Whoa. More than one person?
No.
Wow.
Hey,
good.
You have to be really careful because that's a busy time of year for all of us. Mm-hmm. And they need to really want it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's going to be cold and all of those things. But, yes, if you don't have a lot of points.
So you're spreading some people out.
They don't even know it.
When
I was a kid, if you were excited about it, you figured out how to apply yourself or work with your parents and work off some application fees, whatever.
Lawn mowing, whatever.
Now it's just they get applied and they don't, and I can't stop.
Dad was my combo lunches. I'm going fishing in Nevada.
I don't even want them to have the ability because I get to choose. I don't know what it is.
I love that.
So it's my Christmas gift to them, like to all my kids. It's just I'm going to apply at you and take care of your tags, and it gives me an opportunity to hunt with them and have family time. That's the way I justify it in my mind, and it's a Christmas gift in the tree.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I need to start. I don't do that. It's just a given. It's a
No,
It's a
it
freebie
needs
for
to be-
I need to give it in a card. I need to do
And
that.
that's what I do.
Yeah.
And just basically, Dad's taking care of this, and we're gonna go on a hunt.
You'll
I
thank
guarantee
me
him a
later.
hunt a year.
You'll thank me later.
Yeah, I guarantee him a hunt a year. Sometimes they get 3, and we don't.
Guarantee. I
Well,
like
sometimes we accidentally get 3, but I try to guarantee him a hunt with Dad, and sometimes Mom. As a group or family or whatever. Take the meat wagon that rarely gets filled.
Speaking of, you got a new meat wagon.
One
How
that
do you
can
like it
haul-
so
haul
far?
a lot more meat now.
How do you like
Come
it
on.
so far?
It's good. Best truck I've ever owned.
Oh.
Sorry, John.
Had it for a week.
It's not true.
Yeah.
I was just going
Hey,
to say,
John.
I thought that was used yesterday when I saw a title signing going on or something. This is the best truck
I
I've
gave
ever
John a
owned.
deal he couldn't refuse.
I couldn't
It was
refuse.
actually the best truck I've ever owned.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forget. Yeah, John has a new truck because Jason
Has a new truck.
So
And-
anyway, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Don't try to pound.
I thought you were talking about a box trailer, the meat wagon.
Well, the meat hauling wagon.
Yeah.
How's that?
Yeah. It's all good. There's a lot of moving parts, right, John?
Yep.
A lot of moving
What do you?
parts.
Whoa, what do you mean? Should be cut and dried. Anything the state tax commission needs to know about?
Well,
What are-
no. No. Devin, you're selling a truck.
We'll see.
And we just want to know when we need to be on the lookout for the next
Not
one.
for a
'Cause
while.
I love.
You're just
we
gonna use
love
the
to
old-
help
Not
people.
for a
You're just gonna use
while.
the
You're
the
gonna
new
have one
Toyota.
truck. What if it breaks down?
It's brand new, Jason.
That should be
Right.
all right.
And
Isn't it?
Well,
2
step
years old.
1, I would need some hunts before I worry about that. That's priority 1.
we can help with that.
Need to draw some stuff, and then we'll cross that bridge.
But Bronson,
He's
mine's
committed.
new, and I just replaced motor mounts.
Yeah.
yeah, but mine's a
You're just taken care of.
mine's a Toyota, dude.
Oh, jeez. I've seen a lot of Toyotas with their front end flat to the ground like that. The front end parts are a little weird.
Luckily for me, that never happened to me.
Not on yours, yeah. All right, so Bronson, where does that leave us? Let's move on. Where are we going?
I don't know.
Okay, we talked about skews, Utah, lots of options, deer options.
I have to add for people, we start doing optics, and now we're calling hunt skews.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't know what a skew is,
Yeah, go ahead.
there's a product skew that means this is that product.
The
So,
UPC code.
Yes.
The black
Yeah.
and white.
I like it.
Scannable thing.
Hunt skews.
I just love the hunt skews because there's so many options to partake in and to view and analyze and consider applying for. So anyway, and wouldn't you agree?
I love it. Skews.
So Bronson, let's talk about the permit recommendations for Utah. And John had some questions. Things
Did
like
you,
that.
John?
So I am a little bit disgusted that we talked about Pine Valley specifically. I'm just a little disgusted that even our recommendation down here in the South, it felt like there was a 90% public opinion, that we should leave the tag numbers where they were, at least not increase them. And they went with the regular recommendation of increasing them a large portion, percentage-wise. Bronson.
Yeah. Is that where your question comes in, John?
Yes. Well, so I missed the podcast where you guys talked about a lot of the changes coming, and the discussion on technology, the discussion on primitive weapons, and there were a couple of overall themes I just wanted to ask about, and it kind of felt like some inferences that the state, what they need more revenue, but
or to maintain.
And I just wanted to see what's the bottom line. Are they okay? We need to come up with a way to issue more tags to get more revenue. Yet we need to conserve the resource, so we need to figure out how to make unsuccessful hunts.
No.
You know what I mean? Like what?
If you
what is that?
if you limit technology and you curtail harvest a little bit because of that, you could issue more tags and allow more people to be out on the landscape enjoying hunting.
Yeah. So there's
But
partial
that
truth
means
to what you said.
unsuccessfully,
Yeah.
right?
It does.
So
I mean,
more,
it does.
Yes, you can't just continue to increase efficacy of hunters by adding
Right.
technology, guns, everything else, and not have a consequence at some point
Yeah.
of reducing tags because you're killing too many. So
Right. You'd have to reduce
So
tags. You can't kill
let's
too
take
many.
it to
right?
the other extreme and say, that tag, or you were guaranteed an animal because you drew.
Right.
You have 365 days.
Yes.
Go until you
I
kill
don't care
one.
how it
So-
dies.
So in
Go
that,
until you kill one.
in that
So
case,
that would be the
you'd have
opposite
to,
end of the
you'd have to
spectrum.
really,
that entitles you to an animal.
you'd have to decrease how many
Right.
of those you
Yeah.
gave
You wouldn't
out.
put anybody on the landscape.
Right. Well, I mean, you'd put 5 or whatever
Yeah.
you
That's
actually
right.
wanted to
That's
kill.
right. And so is that fun?
So no, I'm not saying whether it's
Right.
fun or not. What I'm getting at is what are the drivers behind the needs? Is it we really need more revenue, or we need to get people
I think it's
cashing out?
increasing opportunity, and maintaining quality to a certain acceptable level. That's hard to define, and it's different for general season deer than it is for limit entry elk, limit entry deer, once in a lifetime, which have whole different standards for them. That hey, I want to feel like I'm by myself. There's older age, there's a bunch of maybe animals to choose from. Versus, limit entry elk, which we're pushing the envelope with age objectives, population objectives, weapons, skews now from August to December.
Skews.
And you're trying to maximize as many people as can partake in hunting those animals
And still have
have a pretty good quality, and not have quality diminished dramatically year by year, because that's what you're trying to avoid that.
And something you're proud of.
Yeah.
And so then they throw in the spike hunters to allow people to just be able to go harvest
Right,
animals.
just be in
but yet still have some game animals they're proud of.
A lot of weapon types, season dates, those kind of things, over time, you can gauge harvest success for the most part. A lot of times you rarely don't see a 70% and a 20%, a 70% and a 20. Oftentimes it'll eventually kind of even out a little bit. So they're trying to be able to keep that harvest, because they want to be able to keep that harvest but allow more permits. And so that's why you saw with Utah when they changed all their elk management plan stuff to different weapon types, adjusted some season dates, because you went from 100% success in a rifle season right smack in the middle of the rut to they bumped them down to a mid-season rifle hunt, which they're like a 65% success on those with just some later dates, those kind of things. So they're able to give a few more tags during this time frame with this weapon, because the success is less, so they can allow more
And
tags.
maybe
to
satisfy the quote trophy hunters a little bit too, is because we're not so hard on just the top tier
Correct.
of game animals. So we as a division are allowing a bunch of people to go out. We're selling a bunch of tags, but then we're also pacifying Adam or Jason or whoever else that really wants, trophies, so to speak. Because, there's a balance. We shouldn't all just be trophy hunters and all just want trophy hunting in every single unit.
And I'll just want meat only.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's this balance in that, and there's a biological way to manage, and then mixed with social, and then where does that meet, and how do we?
Yeah, and it's a lot more complicated than I'm really asking. But in some cases, it feels like nobody wants to increase tags in a certain area, right? But yet they do. So there's got to be a driver behind it. If it's revenue, then I would rather they just come out and say, look, we're short on revenue. We need more revenue. You know what I mean?
We've
If
got
it's something
1,400
else.
programs that generate revenue, dedicated hunter hours, whatever, all of these different things, and they're all earmarked and whatnot. And in my opinion, just like your own personal budget or my personal budget, you learn how to live on that budget. You take it to the full length, and you don't want that budget cut. You feel like you can't live within cut budgets at your house or in a division or in the government or whatever. And so you just do everything you can to maintain that or increase that budget.
So at some point, even though nobody wants to increase, tags in a certain area, you're going to anyway just for the budget.
Well, if you can't
the
sell
numbers
tags
have
up
to
north.
somehow justify that too, meaning within a management plan guideline, in this case maybe buck to doe ratio or things like that, and anticipated fawn recruitment this year of yearling bucks, and that's largely, frankly, that's my biggest beef. They're largely basing the increase on yearling buck, the anticipated yearling buck crop.
Yeah,
and that's based off of an overall population objective number, how many does are in that population, what the doe-fawn ratio is. We're having 85-95% survival, which they have from a lot of collar data. And then, we, 50-50 ratio of fawns and bucks. We feel like this is how many yearling bucks we're recruiting into this population on this unit this year. And therefore, we feel like the buck to doe ratio will increase because of that. And that's part of the problem I have. It's still based on your overall population objective estimate that you have, if that's way overinflated, you're also overinflating the estimated number of yearling bucks that are going to be coming into the population this year, and therefore overestimating how many tags you can be given.
Yeah. And some of them are contending that, when you ask them what our carrying capacity is that a unit can handle, they're like saying, well, we are there because what's there is what's there. And these are the factors we've been dealt with for the last 10 years. Yeah. Droughts and winter and all these kind of things. And so, I don't know.
No, I don't think any of us would argue that we would all like to see permits increased, honestly. It's a general season unit, and that's what it is. Yes, there's limited entry units where we could argue and say, yeah, that maintains or should be where it's at. It's a different experience. But a general season unit, I look back on those units when they had – several of these units had several thousand more tags than what they have available now. It was because we had the deer there to hunt them.
I think that's to quantify what you initially said we all want them to increase. I don't want to see them increased right now, but when we can handle it.
But we don't want to see it right now because we're lacking thousands and thousands of deer that were there 4 years ago before the drought.
Ago. 2016 to 19.
Yes.
When you could justifiably have tons of tags, there was giants killed too.
And I think that's the heart of my question. If everybody, and maybe the division has a different opinion, but everybody thinks we don't have the deer to justify the tag increases.
90%.
That's kind of what it is.
So why are we still increasing tags?
Exactly. And those are questions.
So it's got to be revenue. At least that's where my mind goes. So
well, and some of them, they do not like trophy hunters in large part. In a lot of departments, they want to manage for just the masses to go out and be able to hunt. Yeah. And there's justification for that too. But they in a lot of departments, not just ours, a lot of departments don't like trophy hunters. They don't. Yeah. Because we're never satisfied. You know what I mean? Yeah. It always can be better or whatever. But I have a hard time when we have representatives that represent the public that go with tag increases, such as this Pine Valley. They go with that when they know good and well they've had emails, phone calls, and how many people stood up, Josh?
80 or 90% of the people in the room are all that said, no, I don't want that to increase, or to the rate that it's being proposed.
It's sometimes those public meetings, I guess the only thing I say is things get messy. Things get forgotten. One person gets up and says something, and it kind of can sway.
It resonates.
It's just it's a weird dynamic. Because the other thing was, though, to their credit, they did cut a significant amount of permits off of a bunch of the other units, but it was on units where there was like an increase of 100 tags or an increase of
Right.
So collectively, they cut. They agreed to cut a lot of tags.
There was only one person that stood up for Southwest Desert, and they went back and went against the division recommendation on that.
Yeah. Well, and there was some other influencing factors. I'm just glad. I was worried at first when John was talking that he'd seen the invoice for those books we ordered, the Navajo Code Talkers for Dummies books we ordered.
Okay, so this is for the technology. Let's dive into that.
I was just worried he'd seen that. I was worried he'd seen that invoice. That's where you're going.
Maybe we have a weekly theme of here's some new vernacular to throw out there on your hunting party. Should we just go around table right now and throw out some options?
So we got to give a little background.
I'm gonna start once you give the background.
Well, I just think basically we're looking at technology here in Utah, and we've had a technology committee. We've aired this out on the podcast to ad nauseum, but basically, do we use radios or not for stalking? You know what I mean, or whatever, and then define what stalking is. And there's a lot of gray area, and that's what's frustrating the public and
scaring some people.
And it is. And so
call somebody and say, I got a big buck over here. You can do that and then get over there.
Okay, so Arizona and in part the laws and people being prosecuted for. I heard there was a buck over here on this part of the unit, so I'd got in my truck and drove down gravel county roads to get closer to the buck. You pursued that animal with a truck. Okay, so there's cases with that,
even though it's ridiculous.
So it's ridiculous, but it actually sees
when
court.
Does it start?
Where does the line
start?
For us to think that there's gray areas and that we potentially may be issued citations or whoever, I mean, we as the public, we as a group of hunters might have to defend ourselves in court to that, and the division can say, come on, anybody in their right mind wouldn't issue a citation for that.
No, you don't. Well, no, we don't go on that.
No, they are, if the law is written like it's
it can be interpreted that way by somebody and not by another.
Hey, there's an elk over in Hamlin Valley and you're in Pine Valley, and you drive to Hamlin Valley, you know what I mean?
I'm at my house and I call you and say, dude, I got a big buck out here bedded under a tree, get out here.
You could interpret that, and it's not far-fetched because we've seen where guys have been issued citations for that because they have been on a watch list or whatever.
And you get out to me and pull up next to my truck, and it's within range. You get out of your truck and shoot from right there.
And it depends on how it's interpreted. Like when the law reads this, you pursued that, you left your house and you went.
Or
It's
you're
all
with it, or you're not at your house. You're just
verbiage.
within the unit, and you said, "Come over here, come to me right here." Say, "Look right here, the spine scope." Right, you lay down and you smash the buck.
That's right.
Where did the stock start?
So, we've used, and like you guys have said, we've used radios. We were talking about it in the office. We've used radios for 30 years.
Yeah.
Like
And
when is that?
they're still
when is
encouraging.
that a 30-06 principle? Is well, we've always had rifles. You can't go away from rifles. So we've always had them.
Yeah.
Like we've always had radios. What is it? What's the new age technology that's bothering everybody? The Garmin sight or whatever. The thermal new tactics, whatever, baiting, things like that. And so anyway, it's hard when you bring up subjects like that.
That'll be
and then we
very
have this-
easy because, for you to say one thing in a rack meeting, that's not the intent. But then when it gets out there on the field and the officer's really upset because he thinks, it's bullcrap that you called your buddy 4 ridges over and he got to you and you're sitting there watching a deer and he laid down and smashed the buck.
And so he gives
And
you
he's mad at
so he
that.
gives you a ticket and says, well, let's let the lawyers and judge figure it out.
And now I got to
Yes.
fight that.
It
You know what I
gets-
mean?
yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like,
Yeah.
really?
But is that really the biggest issue?
Exactly.
I mean, that's
No,
my.
they. Oh, go ahead.
I
Go
don't
ahead,
know.
Devin.
I just.
Dive into it, Devin.
Utah can't make a rule that is black and white, right and wrong.
Right, like
They
we
can't
we
do
allow
it.
cameras
Yes.
if you're just out there to see a starling and you want to see it in its natural
Or if you're not
habitat.
hunting, there's so much gray area.
Or if you're a
The only
landowner now, it's
people-
okay.
What if my kid never sees a bugling bull, but then on video mode my camera captures a bugling bull? He got to partake in that, and we
And I
did that
radioed
together.
him, and I forgot I can't use that. I had to call him my cell phone. I mean,
Yeah, it was
I don't
over
know.
a
It's
salt
gonna.
lick.
I don't want
That's
to.
an
I just would
electronic
hate
de-
to see
That's electronic
future
device.
hunters be scared to hunt because they're so paranoid.
Well, it's the most regulated
anything
professional sport there is.
yeah, and I just I don't know. If you're gonna make a rule, make it black and white.
But
That's
we
me.
are
Like
we are all for
should
giving
know.
the game animal. Like honestly, everybody knows our position. We are all for giving game animals a chance to live. Like it's no secret that we think
We've
you
been
know,
advocates,
take
scopes off
take
muzzleloaders
the
or
scopes
something like
off.
that.
And don't meet in the middle of the 4-power that has
No,
a turret.
And don't
I
let
mean,
people
what's
use
that gonna?
crossbows that aren't really that are totally capable of using a regular bow.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Don't approve somebody that just tweaked their, was doing CrossFit, tweaked their shoulder that year, and got a crossbow.
or
permit.
had a friend that signed off for him, and it's happening.
I feel like there's much bigger problems. And
Well,
I mean, like, when nobody has brought up the fact, like, you look at Nevada, who has agricultural fields, landowners,
Oh yeah.
they get compensated. They're happy.
No.
You have people in Utah. So I have a neighbor, a guy I know, saw some bucks one day, and I was talking to him about it. And he said, oh, there's no deer left there. I'm like, oh, I saw some deer. He said, oh, wait, last year we killed like 60 or 70 does. Like,
Come
these are
on.
problems no one's talking about. We're talking about 100
Nevada
tag.
or
No,
Utah?
right here in the valley,
Oh, jeez.
all
Wow.
around. He said, oh, we killed like 65 or 70 does last year.
Yeah, but the division, a lot of
So
a lot of them are scared of landowners, so they don't want
I
to go
get that.
cite the
It's
guy
a
for
big
for
problem.
killing
There's
60.
a lot
But
of
honestly, the state owns the wildlife. They,
Yeah, how
they
many-
shouldn't be allowed to just go smash them.
How
well,
many?
they
There's
we,
one-
we talk about buck numbers and all these tag cuts, but for me, I'm like, you
There's
don't see as
60
many deer, and we're out there planting grass and buckbrush,
For
and
what?
right down the
We're
road,
not even close
they
to
carrying.
smash
Smashing
70
60.
does. Like, what the heck are we doing?
All while we think the radio is going to save.
Yes,
How
that's
many-
my
how
thing.
many-
Like,
how
we're
many
talking,
deer?
it's like trying to solve a homeless problem when we're talking about, it's, you got to talk about, I don't know, the big picture to me. And that's like I haven't heard one person bring that up for landowners and farms. And Josh, you know all about that.
Yeah, a
with the
lot
deals.
of it, they don't know how to fix it.
Yeah, it's a.
You
But
got to fight the landowners.
I'd rather be talking about that than two-way radios, personally.
yeah.
Yeah, and I think with the technology, for me, part of it is my, deep mistrust and hate for government.
Well, John doesn't want any rules and regulations
no,
whatsoever.
that's not true. It's not true. But on one side of it,
I love
it's,
to tease you about
it's
it. though.
it's hard for me to have all these rules that are hard to enforce. That that are just up in the air and. Anyway, with the radios,
Like
your
ethics.
grandma
your
can't
point
use
is it's
them.
no different than ethics. We all have different set of them.
Yeah, and
So how do you regulate
on
ethics?
one side of it, it's like, well, you're just trying to make everyone less effective, cut tag numbers, and don't worry
But
about some of it.
I believe there's a media. I mean on the flip side of that, we don't just. It goes back to you were issued a tag, not the given right to kill an animal whenever you want for the next year. You would have to issue a lot less tags, and you can't function.
No, and I agree, but some of them, I just think it's hard to enforce.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well,
it's difficult. There's different situations where you can use a radio, but in this situation you can't use a radio, and it's up to the officer. Like pursuing game, you can get closer to it in your truck, and that's against the law. And in these situations,
don't drive above what RPMs getting there quickly, right, Jason? That's kind of where people are in
There's
trouble.
no line.
You've driven there.
Who's looking at the
too
RPMs?
fast?
Who's looking at the RPMs?
Especially on
only
an
me.
antelope. Especially
Nobody
on
else
an
can see it.
antelope.
It's up to interpretation where I was at.
Well, precedence has been set with some of these things too, like Arizona. You get caught with a camera there, what happens to you?
Oh,
It's-
a guy
it's-
lost his
it's black
hunting
and white.
privileges for life over a cellular camera.
Yes. New Mexico, scopes, no scopes, done.
Who knows?
It's so plain. The line is drawn. It's black and white.
But we don't have the guts to do it.
We don't.
here,
We can't.
personally. Nevada's clean.
Same thing.
We even relaxed Utah's trail camera laws this year.
Yeah.
Relaxed them.
It was naughty
Right.
last
Now
year.
you can
but
do
now
it.
it's okay.
Now private landowners can do it.
Private landowners can do it in Utah.
Yeah.
now.
Well, John, are you aware of the rule they made about the Peterson law?
What's the Peterson
Let's
law?
read.
Whoa.
I love
geez.
this.
Read it.
Josh,
let's
my
read
God.
okay,
rule.
John reserves the right to edit.
We should do this on every podcast. Have a obscure rule reading
for John.
Yes.
We call it the John law.
This one was specifically, it's in blue, so it's
Yeah.
added to the rule.
It's added.
Oh, wow.
They may have listened to the podcast and thought maybe this be an issue.
No.
This is from
Probably not.
Rule 657-5.
What state?
50.
This is Utah.
Subsection B.
Utah.
Yes.
getting deep.
Okay.
For the purpose of this subsection, making a reasonable effort shall include a person physically going over to the nearest location where the big game animal was when the person attempted to take the big game animal in order to search for any sign of big game animal. The big game animal was wounded or killed, and take a big game animal in possession or properly of that rule. Thus,
In case you didn't learn
My
that in Hunter's
gosh.
Ed, UK.
let's say, John, let's just say you're by yourself. You're out hunting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He's never by himself.
May end up firing a round or 10. And
Whoa.
Hey, that was by myself.
Ouch. Ouch.
you physically
And you were in Gunnison.
and let's say that buck let's say that buck's like used the span of a 500-yard side of the ridge in order between
Jeez.
first shot and 10. You need to physically walk over to where every time that buck was standing during that escapade and check for blood.
And there was snow on the ground.
Yeah. Well, oh man, that's also my problem. It's like we've all shot at an animal, and then we get over there, and it's hard to tell exactly where he was standing. Yeah. And so you could have an officer that's like, you were 15 feet away from where he was standing.
What is the word
You're-
there?
I think
Reasonable
what
effort.
he's saying,
you know?
Yeah,
making
reasonable
a
effort. So you got to walk
and I
over.
think that's I think these rules are for idiots, man.
Well,
Our own
isn't that
people-
common sense?
It
like
is.
you
It
learn
is
that in
common sense.
hunter's
It is.
education.
It is, Devin. But
And
have
it's-
you seen it?
Oh,
You've seen
I've
it.
seen it.
Oh,
You've
yeah.
seen it where they lob shots and they
never
drive
even
away.
walk.
Never walk over there.
Yeah.
I've seen people kill deer, and they're leaving, and I said, "Dude, I'm pretty sure you hit this deer." And all of a sudden, guess what?
You
30
went and
yards
found
away,
them dead.
blood everywhere, and there's the buck.
And I think that's the point. To the DWR credit or whoever on the board or whatever, nobody wants to make that stupid freaking rule.
I know it's
But what do
unfortunate
you
that a
do?
rule has to be made.
What do you
That's the
do?
problem.
We've all
That's what
witnessed
sucks.
it.
Yeah, but you could make a rule about everything.
And
You know, that's
teasing
my
John.
point.
No,
I don't know,
I
man.
get it, and I
I don't know.
We've
I
got
think
problems.
this is what I think should happen. You go over there and find a dead deer like you did, and then they freaking get cited for
Yeah.
wanton waste of wildlife or whatever, and we freaking throw the book at them felonies. And then and if you were to really go to the extent of the law on some of those things where there was blatant disregard, then and we followed through with it, people might think twice. It does get old.
then that would fix it. Yeah,
And
that I
I
totally agree
The
with.
other thing that you hear a lot too about is people saying, "Well, we're going to police ourselves," which I think as hunters we probably should, but it's also
Not capable.
it's not our responsibility. And I've seen instances. I remember when
You
I
mean
was
for
when
you
I
to
was a game
police?
warden.
You mean for you to police a fellow hunter?
Yes, I'd seen some instances where a guy had called us when I was a game warden a million years ago, and we went to go investigate. It was a help stop poaching call. I mean, he called it in on the official hotline and whatever. Well, I go up to meet him, and he says, "Hey, this buck got up, and these guys went over there. They shot it. They didn't tag it. The deer's still laying over there." And I'm like, "Okay, this is money, you know. Like this is going to be easy."
Okay.
And I go, and he's like, "It's laying under that tree right over there." And I go walking over there. There was no deer there. And I'm like,
Which
"There's
tree did you
nothing
say?
here?" Yeah, and I'm like, "What in the world?" And he left, and I was just looking. And I looked around for 3 or 4 hours. There was never a deer there. Basically, what had happened, this guy, there was some sort of a argument on the hillside of some kind. These hunters got into a fight. Somebody probably shot a buck, something like that. There was no evidence that a buck even got shot. I have no idea what happened, but I went then, and I knew who the guy was because they're camped right down there. So I go down there, camp, try and have to grill them, and they're like, "No, we went over there and sat down and had lunch." Like, I don't know, but this guy saw them gutting a buck and leaving it. They were over there sitting having lunch.
Threw him under the bus.
And it was just like, it was the weirdest thing. And so we ended up going back and citing that kid for giving a false police report.
Oh,
nice.
Because
you're kind of
like that.
Well,
You're mean, dude.
No, I like that.
But it was just like, what are you doing? Because and it turns out the kid, and talking to him,
Was just throwing him
and he
under
wasn't
the
a
bus.
kid. He was like a 20-something-year-old man.
Yeah.
But turns out after talking to him, that's why he got a ticket, was because he turns out, I actually really didn't see that. I just assumed that's what they were doing because the buck jumped and was over there. And then
I'm going to bill you for the
I'm like,
last 5 hours of
and it was
my
like
work.
you're accusing these guys of a third-degree felony. That's the part that gets a little scary when you try to police. So that's what it's going to be scary, is if you have a radio, because they're telling you to have your radio, have your phone, use it. You know, it's for safety's sakes. Continue to use it. Well, what if you're just talking to somebody on the phone about something else completely different? Whatever, somebody sees you and turns you in, like,
and then you kill a deer just by you jump one and kill it,
and the guy phone scope.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, he definitely was on the phone or on the radio."
It could get so messy, you know. It's just hard. I don't know.
But is that our biggest problem?
No,
Yes,
it's not.
exactly. That's my point. Both
We're
of you
out here
hit it right on the
stacking
head.
up hundreds of does that touch a field for a month out of the year. And we're talking about radios.
Let's work on a
Or
solution.
every day, the 5 new does I see going up over the mountain that are dead, right now.
I like the John Law. That's a new section.
How about this? What if you're alone?
it.
And I've done this. What if you're alone and you kill a buck, or you shoot at a buck and you film it and you watch you shank a shot?
Well, you watch where it hits.
12 feet, whatever. Your turret's off. And the
tree
deer
limb
runs
falls.
away, beds down, gets up, goes get shot by somebody else. Whatever happens. And you don't go look because you already know.
You violated that law.
You're going to jail.
Well, maybe
And
not.
then you'd have to
jail.
prove-
Although some of you gamies, I heard, take people to jail for dumb
There's
stuff.
just there's so many variables.
If you read that, does it say make a reasonable effort? Do you have to physically visit? Read that again.
That's what I'm saying.
Or
Like,
can you look at video that you of the shot?
Now I
Go
know
3
you need
feet
to
over
walk
his back.
physically.
now I know I missed, and now when I'm walking back,
It uses the word shall.
Physically
which
shall
means
or-
shall.
or
You
may.
mean you will.
It
Is that the
making a
same?
reasonable effort shall include. So it means you have to include a person shall physically.
Physically.
A person physically
Not
going
watch it.
to the nearest
You
location.
shouldn't
walk.
have to
Where
make
the
have
rules
to
like
walk
that.
there.
But
or
I'm
you got 4 people behind you, and they're like, "Dude, you just missed by 12 feet to the east."
Okay, well,
You still got to go down,
doesn't
and I
matter.
guess whatever. Yeah. But
burgers have
We'll let the
fragments.
judges
Burgers
and
have
lawyers figure it
fragments,
out.
right?
Well, and you talk about hunters
Burgers
policing
have
hunters.
Burgers have
fragments.
Yeah, they do. And you never know where those fragments end up. And I just think there's just like why we're all frustrated with this stuff. But then I also see the flip side of it. So many hunters don't even deserve to be called a hunter. You know, and we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
Devin, your guy walking away, the deer didn't go 30 yards. Deer didn't go 30 yards.
There was his bed, and there was blood, probably about 20 yards. Yeah.
You know, I mean, and then he would have went and shanked another one. You know.
Yeah, you can see it both ways. there.
So anyway, kind of crazy, but yeah, I just think sometimes I just want the local representatives to represent the majority of the public. That's what your job is to do. You know, you represent the public, and so kind of frustrated. All right, well, anyway, that's just a little bit of something. The fun parts are is what can we do to make a difference? Don't shoot a dink unless you want a dink. If you want a dink, fine. If not, send your tag into Muleys Matter. Muleys Lives Matter.
2023 tag.
2023. That
Mule
mule's
deer.
there's gonna be all kinds of colors. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm so excited
It's
about
gonna be a
it.
party.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna have
Pizza. Come on,
maybe.
pizza.
Well,
maybe
yeah,
maybe
why not?
food. We'll just leave it.
Lots
at
of food, a variety of food.
Yeah, exactly. There'll
I'm
be
going
food
to be
and beverage.
$500 poorer.
Yeah,
John, you can start saving now.
It's a tax write-off. Tax write-off. Remember?
You got to advertise for my business.
John, I saw. We looked up your draw results in New Mexico. You
Yes.
have a huge refund coming.
That's true.
We will keep 500 of that. Okay, it's already prepaid.
And you get to pick the bin that goes towards. Remember?
Yep.
Does, youth, bombs on moms, general, or limited draw.
Any y'all out there that want to match my donation, feel free.
Hey, maybe we can do this like the federal Pittman-Robertson matching. Let's do it.
No.
What do you mean?
You're
Somebody
saying
match it.
Epic's going to match
No, I didn't say that.
any
No,
and
I
all
didn't.
cash donations?
No. Misinterpreted. I'm just saying, let's turn it into that. We'll put ours. Who's going to match? Let's do it. I just threw that out there.
Pittman what?
Pittman
Robinson
It's
money.
like PR money, but the federal money gets state dollars get matched with PR dollars.
And I'm thinking he's going down the road of you donate and Epic matches. No.
I already donated. You match, listener.
We've donated a bunch. I mean, we've got 10 G's or something already on the
at
table
least.
from Epic.
Yeah.
Bow, rifle,
Trail cameras,
trail
cash,
Optics.
cash title, tax, cash
lots,
titles,
and
licenses.
more to come. Because, quite frankly, we believe in it. It's going to be. It's fun to do.
It's going to be fun.
Jeez, it's fun.
We like giving stuff away.
I love this one. So anyway, no cost to enter. Basically, you just get us your tag. Get it here. You could drive it here. Okay.
If it's here by November 30th at 11:59, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right, guys. I think we've vetted it out plenty. We got a lot of draw
Lot of
results.
draw
We got a
results.
lot of application deadlines coming up too, and we're cranking like it's our freaking job. It's so fun to talk to everybody, help people develop plans and strategies. I think that's what we were going to is we were talking about SKUs, and some of the SKUs we just don't have enough paper to print on, and they're in the back of our mind of this could be a great option. Not proven, but it could be a great option because of something we know or just a feeling, gut feeling we have. I have a lot of those gut feelings, and those end up in unpunched tags, guys.
Tag soup.
But another one of those tag soup tags was drawn the other day.
Maybe run through the deadlines real quick.
Yeah,
the
here.
next week. What, Utah the 27th?
Rattle them off, Bronson. You got
Well,
it.
this is from the top of my head, which could get scary. Utah the 27th of April. It's due. If you miss it, they are going to have a points-only period in June. But for tags and hunts, SKUs, April 27th.
I like
Got to
it.
have that in. April 30th is going to be the Idaho moose, sheep, and goat deadline. May 1st, Montana moose, sheep, goat, bison deadline. May 10th, Nevada, all species deadline.
My
applied by
favorite,
Nevada.
the one thing about Nevada is, we're talking about 70-something thousand tags here in Utah. And yeah, the terrain's vastly different. I totally get it. And habitat and all of those things, moisture, rainfall, yada, 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 yada. We're talking 14,000 total deer and antelope tags issued statewide. They're running a budget on that. And we're whining about 71,000. It used to be 95,000. Whatever, right?
Hey, and guess what? The people who own land out there, they want deer on their fields. Just saying.
Because for every 50 deer they count, they get a tag. And they can count them any time of the year when they're, in theory, you count them in November in large portion of
Dormant
the landowners
period.
over there.
Yeah, which is
in the
crazy.
dormant period, there's no damage. I mean, a little bit. But they do get some damage in the summer. They're not technically counting in the summer, whatever. They'll count whenever they want to count. Whenever the highest numbers are in their field. Some people do count early, but a lot of them count late. And so anyway, yeah, they do. They get compensated for damage, potential damage, possible damage, whatever, and the private funds, they get to sell them on the open market. They're not like Idaho where you can't sell a tag, but you sell rights and other things. So you get to sell them on the open market, and private funds get to take care of depredating animals. That's kind of cool, right?
They're happy.
Yeah.
Your point about Nevada being that there's hardly any tags. That's why you like
Yeah,
Nevada.
let's go
You're
back to
generally
that.
by yourself in Nevada.
I like that, but then also, Bronson, we've looked through all
Oh.
this tag numbers, the new tag numbers for 2023, and in a lot of
So
cases, they're
bleak.
single digits.
I mean,
Deer is like elk.
can't even apply as a group in a lot of
Yeah,
places.
you can apply as a group, even though legally you can.
For deer, but you should.
There's no
'cause
tags.
one
'Cause
tag.
there's one tag or two.
It's unbelievable. Real. I've never seen quotas being slashed in places like we're seeing now in Nevada. To the point it is. Antelope quotas across Wyoming.
It's
Single
sobering.
year. Yeah, it's sobering.
But at the same time, kudos to NDOW.
Yeah.
Kudos to the board.
Wyoming,
for
you got to do
answering
what
the
you got
call.
to do. If it's not there, it's not there.
But the few people that do have tags, what a world-class experience they're going to have on a year like this, especially when we're talking mule deer.
Yeah.
Elk, they've always got world-class animals, it feels like, and on dry years, a lot of the outfitters would contend it's even better quality-wise, just, because they change what they feed on and whatnot. So anyway, but, and there's a lot of theories behind that. But anyway, just interesting. It's fun.
So
it's a lot of fun.
A lot of deadlines coming up in the next 2 weeks. And then the 2 weeks after that, you're going to see an epic wave of draw results. From May 15th to the end, it's like fast and furious. Every day or two, there's a new state going to come out.
And here at Epic Outdoors, we're here to help you make the most of those tags. We have a member draw success list where we can give you a list of members who've hunted that particular tag in the past. They're always willing to help you because it's hard to get those tags. Not like you're competing with them in their backyard per se. And then also Devin, Adam, and I, Wyatt, Josh, everybody can help you find an outfitter too, and make the most of it if you want to go that route. So a lot of options, and a lot of these units, a good chunk of a lot of these units we have personal knowledge in, and we were always very, very willing to help guys. We want to see you succeed.
On the outfitter note, Devin mentioned something that, they book up quick after the draw, the good ones, and so be quick to call us, and don't wait forever. Let's say you draw a once-in-a-lifetime tag and you want to make the most of it, and you decide, okay, I'm going to go outfit it on this tag. You may not be able to find an outfitter or a good one because you wait too long to give us a call and investigate some good outfitters.
If you're not a member of Epic Outdoors, you should be. Get on epicoutdoors.com. It's $150 a year. You get a publication 9 times a year. It's monthly, December through June, talking about all the states that we're talking about. Drawing odds, kill percentages, how the states work, and as well as being able to call in and visit with us about various things, book hunts with guaranteed tags, may not even be draw tag stuff. And so it's a very involved membership, service-based, service-oriented, and then we also can help you apply. If there's a separate service, we'll actually apply you. And then if you need optics, there's no better optics pricing out there. Plain and simple, give us a holler. Epic Optics. You can just give us a holler. Even if you're not a member, we'll definitely visit with you about things, options, and whatnot. Josh, you can attest to all that. You deal with a lot of optics calls.
Yeah, we do. Just talked to a guy a little bit about it yesterday joining, and he decided that the ability for us to help him out on some stuff with his optics was well worth the cost of joining a membership.
A couple times over.
Yeah.
Saving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yep.
And so anyway, something we're proud of. Again, we like to do it. We like it. So, all right, everybody. I don't know what else to say. Bronson had to leave. He had a coughing attack.
I was going to pat him on the back, but I was a little worried it might. Yeah, he must have.
He inhaled some white
He doesn't have a drink.
Monster,
That's his
maybe?
problem.
Oh, yeah. He needs a drink.
He'll be all right.
All right, but anyway, everybody out there, if you're needing some help, let us know. We're happy to help you. We want to thank Kenetrek Boots. What a great company they are. Been with us since inception. www.kenetrek.com. KENETREK.com. 1-800-232-6064. They sell boots and a wide variety of products. Anything you need help. Jim Winjum, super good guy, founder, and he just kills it. So we just appreciate their support. And
hundreds of SKUs.
Love to be working with them.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about Thompson Long Range a little bit as being kind of a sponsor of the Muleys Matter. And give those guys a call up there. They can help you out, get you a good rifle, get you shooting. They're going to help you be effective.
They're awesome and good hunters and personal friends. So we appreciate everybody at Thompson Long Range.
If you'd like to even just check them out, go on our YouTube page, YouTube, and search Epic Outdoors. And we've got a couple of really great videos that explain what that school is like and their rifles and their system. So go check that out.
Perfect. We'll give a shout out to Kuyu as well, ultralight hunting. I think, Josh, you're going to be down there at an event, maybe?
Yeah, May
Let's bring
20th.
that
We're
up.
going to
I
actually,
forgot about
Josh and I and Bronson, and maybe a few others of us. Hey, maybe Devin?
California?
Maybe.
I don't know. We got deadlines and
What do you mean?
magazines. And
You don't want to be surrounded by the Dems?
hey, I don't need. Well, hey, as long as I'm with my battle buddies, you guys, I'll go. But I'm not going alone.
We got each other's back.
But anyways,
I don't know, though. They kind of take your arms at the border.
Yeah, but check your trucks before you go.
Exactly.
But anyways, yeah, you guys will be down there. They're a great company, great people. We work with them all the time.
QU.com, you can go out there. They sell a wide variety of products. Again, tents, sleeping bags, gear, clothing.
Backpacks.
All kinds of stuff. Boots. I mean, good people. We appreciate Brendan and Justin and everybody there. They support us here at Epic Outdoors, and we support the heck out of those guys and appreciate them. Like you said, we will be out there doing a kind of a mule deer seminar, hunting in general, and anything and everything. We'll just talk about what we want. It's not something we're out there to generate revenue or anything. It's just something to support them. They asked us to show up, and we won't have a booth, but it's not going to be giant. There'll be several hundred people there, I'm sure. And we'll just be able to talk about mule deer, something we love.
Like May 20th, I believe is when
May
that is.
20th,
They're
yep.
at the KU headquarters in Dixon.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. We appreciate the invite. We'll absolutely be there and go from there. All right, everybody. It's way past our lunchtime. I can't believe we keep coming in here saying this is going to be a short podcast.
I'm getting hangry.
When is this ever going to be a short podcast?
It's not. We get on rants.
Oh, we get on rants. But anyway, all right, everybody, enjoy your lunches and have a great weekend.
The best things in life are often free, and that includes Vortex Nation. With one click, you can join thousands of hunting, shooting, and outdoor fanatics brought together by a shared passion for chasing life's wild moments. Start your adventure today by signing up for the Vortex Nation newsletter for access to exclusive content, first look at new product launches, expert tips and tactics, and subscriber-only offers. Head to join.vtxnation.com to sign up today. We'd like to thank all of our sponsors here at Epic Outdoors. For top-of-the-line hunting, clothing, and apparel in every environment, visit UnderArmour.com. We'd like to thank Under Armour for being our title sponsor and making this podcast happen. Visit our website, epicoutdoors.com, for discount codes to Under Armour hunting apparel. Handcrafted, quality, precision rifles from start to finish. Red Rock Precision is one of our sponsors, and many of our staff uses Red Rock rifles. Visit redrockprecision.com to find out more. If you're in the market for a hunting property, our sponsor at St. James Sporting Properties specialize in premier hunting properties throughout the West. Check out available hunting properties at stjamessportingproperties.com. Good-looking, comfortable camo describes KUIU. The new bush pants from KUIU keep your legs comfortable while walking through the thorns and bristles. Visit KUIU.com for sizing and prices. Kenetrek makes great boots for any situation. Most sheep hunters in the high, rocky altitudes use these boots to keep their ankles in check on the rough terrain. Visit Kenetrek.com to learn more. We at Epic Outdoors are a fierce firearms dealer and have many popular models in stock and ready to ship. Call us if you would like help deciding which options are right for you. Fierce long-range rifles are a great rifle, and many of our employees here use them. Visit fiercearms.com to learn more. Triple S Polaris specializes in custom setup hunting side-by-sides. They deliver right to your door nationwide. Visit SSSPolaris.com to learn more. For affordable, long-range rifles and shooting schools, visit ThompsonLongRange.com. Hoyt is top-of-the-line archery equipment. Hoyt is the official bow manufacturer of Epic Outdoors. Everyone on our staff shoots a Hoyt bow. Call if you'd like to visit about their different models or visit Hoyt.com. Thank you to PhoneScope, the best camera optic adapter out there. PhoneScope makes high-quality phone cases and optics adapters. Visit PhoneScope.com to learn more. StealthCam has high-quality, durable trail cameras that we all love to use. Check them out at www.stealthcam.com or call us to order today. Here at Epic Optics, we are a verified dealer for Swarovski, Zeiss, Leica, Vortex, StealthCam, and more. Call us today to visit about the available optics we have and what would be right for you, or visit epicoptics.com. For only $150 a year, you get 9 issues of the Epic Outdoors magazine and unlimited access to our hunt consultants, as well as access to our verified research website. To see all the other member benefits, visit epicoutdoors.com. If you hunt multiple states, our services are essential. The Epic Outdoors License Application Service is for you if you ever miss deadlines or would like help developing your long, medium, and short-term license application goals. Give us a call today at 435-263-0777 to learn more.